Welcome to Lesson 7 in Unit 2, Playground Cooldown. In this lesson, students will work to answer the question, how can we design ways to keep cool on the playground? In this lesson, students will apply their learning throughout the unit to complete the engineering challenge. They will work in teams and develop a shade structure to keep cool on the playground. They will use evidence from weather patterns, seasons, and data collection to support their ideas. Students will figure out that they can design solutions to create shade and protect against extreme heat on the playground. They will make connections to the storyline by developing and testing different shade solutions to keep cool. There are several opportunities for ELA and math cross-curricular connections throughout the lesson. You can look for specific standard connections in the Unit 2 teacher guide. This lesson will take approximately 3 to 4 days to complete. To begin the engage portion of the lesson, you'll show the engineering design cycle and remind students of their progress toward solving the problem. You'll have students review the models they drew at the end of Lesson 6 and have them pair share to discuss their ideas. You'll revisit the driving question board and add any new questions and highlight others connected to the learning goals of this lesson by calling attention to questions about keeping cool on the playground or designing a solution for the playground. You will set up the Shade Solutions investigation. The detailed procedure for this activity can be found in the teacher guide. You'll put students in engineering teams of 4. Let them know they will work in these teams to develop a shade solution for the playground. They will use Mr. Bear as a model of a person on the playground. You'll have them draw their solutions on the Shade Solutions student journal page. In the explain portion, you will invite students to gather and share their findings from their shade solutions. You'll use the provided questions to guide your discussion around how can we design ways to keep cool on the playground. The goal of this class discussion is to analyze and compare how students use the materials to design a shade cover, and to compare what worked or didn't work in their designs. In the elaborate portion, students will have a gallery walk to share solutions. You'll have students use the peer feedback table tent to identify one thing they like, one question they have, and one suggestion they have about their classmates' solutions. If students have a playground at their school without shade, they could present their solutions to their school principal, the PTO, or central office administrators to advocate for one to be added. You will provide students with the Shade Solutions Persuasive Writing Template student journal page to construct their initial writing. Then, you can provide students with the opportunity to construct their own written explanation using the Shade Solutions Persuasive Writing student journal page. In the evaluate portion, students will answer questions about their final shade solutions. You'll have students answer the final questions on the Shade Solutions Weather and Seasons student journal page. If desired, they can also make any final updates to the drawings of their shade solutions on the Shade Solutions student journal page. Then you will invite students to gather in a circle to review what they've learned about weather patterns and keeping cool in the sun during their time as engineers. The goal of this class discussion is for teams to revisit their learning throughout the unit and wrap up the unit. To support student sense-making across the unit, orient them back to the driving question board. Ask, did we answer any of the questions from our driving question board? And what additional questions do you have? Try to wrap up any final questions on the driving question board before the end of the unit. You can have students use the self-check form to evaluate their own learning in this section. This is an instructional tool that can be used as a metacognitive practice for students to reflect on their learning, express their engagement and excitement levels for the topics they have learned. This tool can also allow students to reflect on their science identities and community. By the end of this lesson, students will have developed an engineering solution to keep cool and protected on the playground. In the optional extend portion of the lesson, students can take their shade solutions outside to test and celebrate their designs. Bring the class thermometers and their designs to a spot on the playground. Using the thermometers, measure the temperature in the sun before and after they place their shade solutions. Let students celebrate their solutions and the shade they have provided. For more information about this unit, visit mysidepartners.com.